Folks, it's all kicking off in crypto. I don't know if you've been watching what I've been watching, but it looks like altcoin season is here. And that's a brief period in the 4-year crypto cycle where all of a sudden, all the smaller coins start doing 10x, 20x returns like a day. It's known as altcoin season. And like I said, it happens every 4 years. The last one was towards the end of 21 when everything was going crazy. And the current one is happening right about now. We think it's going to kick off in August, September, October, and then it's going to be violent up and violent back down. And that's what happens in these cycles. One of the precursors to altcoin season is something called Bitcoin dominance crashing. Can everybody see this graph here? Tom, John, can you see that? And Brandon, we saw Bitcoin dominance up here at 66%, which was an all-time high and also a Fibonacci number. So it was almost what we thought was going to be a high barrier. And it recently crashed all the way down here to 60.4. And you can see that before that, it really was this all-time high. And it had been creeping up for a long time. And this violent sell-off means that now less of the market is Bitcoin and more of it is now Ethereum and the altcoins. And of course, if you go to CoinMarketCap, we can see here that actually Ethereum is up about 20% against Bitcoin in the last month. And it's been a huge resurgence, which pushes everything else up as well. And so this is the reason that we know a lot of our early stage investments are going to start to really pay off. And we're actually making a bunch more behind the scenes. I'm actually going to show you 2 deals tonight that are still open if you want to get in those. And I'll show you how we're making a bunch of money behind the scenes. Look, last thing I can say is owning Bitcoin is the stupidest thing you can do right now. It just is. Owning it in 22 and 23 and 24 was a great idea. Owning it in the early part of 25 was a great idea. But right now, we're thinking Bitcoin goes up what? I don't know, maybe 30, 40% more. Maybe some people say more, but I don't know. Whereas one of your altcoins could easily 10, 20, 30x in the next 3 to 5 months. And that's what we've got our money on at this point in the cycle. Trust me, in 26, when the market's coming off, we're not going to be in altcoins. We're going to be either short the market or in stable coins. And I'll explain exactly how. So last chance for cameras on to get these up. Otherwise, I think Martini might be exiting people from the room. And I want to jump in also to what Trump has been doing. Raise your hands if you can see this image here. Brandon, is that coming through? Sherry and John? Okay, fantastic. Well, the big news was that Trump Media, which is the company that owns True Social, and it's really kind of a meme stock for Trump, buys $2 billion in Bitcoin. They announced this a few weeks back. They actually bought the Bitcoin in the last few days. And they're taking part of what people are calling this new infinite money glitch. And that's producing now a total of $4 trillion in crypto. We think this is going to go to $6, $7, $8 trillion in crypto as a total market cap sometime in the next 4 to 6 months. And now Trump and Eric Trump and Donald Trump Jr. are all taking part of this. And we're going to show you how they're making tons of money. Before we get started, I just want to say this presentation is really for information purposes only. It's not intended to be investment advice. If you are seeking that, please go find a professional. Also want to give you this free gift, which is module 1 of our super premium program. You've probably heard of it, called the Investment Club. And this is going to teach you how startups raise money in the blockchain. And now, because of the power of Zoom, I'm actually going to send each one of you a copy of this right over to your chats. So if you go to your chat feature on Zoom, I'm actually going to send this module as a PDF. Look, if you get this, if you could just reply back to me, yes. I think you have to click on my picture and then you can just reply yes, but it'll at least let me know that you've got it. And this is going to really show you how blockchain startups make money. That has gone through. Did you get that, Sherry or Brandon or John? Just if you can reply yes, or just give me a yes, John has it. So look, read that in your spare time. If you can, give me your attention in the meantime, but that's just going to show you kind of what we're doing behind the scenes. And again, that's just a gift for you. If you are watching this later, you can download that at londonreal.tv/download. Katie, nice to have you back here. Kate Dixie, nice to have the camera on as well, and bless us with some good energy. Also, folks, I want to give you a video, and that link will be at the end of this presentation, which is going to show you how to find the hottest crypto pre-sale tokens in 3 easy steps. A lot of you know that our secret for making money is pre-sale tokens. And strangely enough, nobody teaches this and nobody gives access to the deals, but it's something we've gotten really good at for the past 4 years. I'll show you a bunch of the deals we've invested in. I'll show you a bunch of the people that are making a lot of money in these deals as well. And I'll give you a video about this in the end of the presentation. I know what you're asking. What's a pre-sale token, Brian? I can barely get my head around what a crypto is. And now you're talking about pre-sale tokens. Well, They're basically tokens that don't exist yet. And we secretly buy them from the CEOs of hot companies that are going to list these in the future. What happens is when the tokens do get created, they go on an exchange like Coinbase or Binance or Kraken, and all of a sudden 1 million people can buy these tokens, and very often they shoot up in price. We've bought them at pennies on the dollar before that happens. Now, this happens actually all the times behind the scenes. How many people here have heard of a coin called Solana? Anybody here? Brandon, you look pretty smart. John, Kate as well. Did you know you could have bought this as a pre-sale token? A lot of people don't. You could have bought it for 4 pennies each. Talk about a price spike. That thing just hit $200 last week for a recent high. If you had made $1,000 and put it in at pre-sale tokens at 4 pennies each, that one investment would be worth $5 million today. $5 million. Anybody here could use an extra 5 mil right about now? Anybody? Brandon's like, okay, Brian, I'll take it. John's like, no, I'm just going to drink my drink here. Don't really need the money. More money, more problems, right, John? But look, a lot of us could use 5 mil. You know, maybe it just pays off a few bills for you high rollers. But look, it could really give you the freedom to maybe just take a breather, right? Maybe from your paycheck to paycheck lifestyle, maybe find a job that really is congruent with who you are. What I want to do is create wealth for you so then you can find purpose. And that's what I got to do when I was a banker in the city of London. And what did I do? I went ahead and started a crazy YouTube channel, and that's what London Real's been for 14 years. So whatever crazy idea you have, I want to empower that, but I know it takes money to do it. And so we're trying to create wealth for our members so they can go really live a life of purpose. I just want to say before we get started today, I don't think money is the end goal. I know a lot of wealthy people that are miserable as hell because they don't have a purpose. For me, money gives you the breathing space to where you can actually find a purpose and find a gift that you can give back to the world. Does that make sense for anybody here? You know, and that's what we really want to do, empower you to do that. And again, one of the ways is through this, something like a pre-sale token on Solana. It would have been a no-brainer for everybody here. Folks, this is actually a pre-sale investment we did a few months ago, and this is a legal document called the SAFT agreement that we sign when we invest. Can everyone see the blue circle on the screen there? That's how much we invested in the company. It says $200, 200,000 USD. So $200,000 is our typical ticket. Can everyone see that red circle? That's the token pre-sale price. Now, if you look at that carefully, it's not $1.25. It's actually 1.25 pennies. So we bought these cheaper than you could have bought Solana. We're actually getting in cheaper. And what happened? Well, the token went live on exchanges and it was up 20x on the day. So in about 4 hours, we made $4 million. Not bad, right? $1 million an hour for the members of my group. The company is called Skillful AI. It's artificial intelligence on the blockchain. We have a few of these investments. They've done very well. And this is the CEO of the company named Zoltan. He's become a good friend. And of course, when you get an investment from London Real, you get a show on London Real. And I'll be honest, I think, John, that the CEOs want my media more than my money, to be honest, because let's be fair. In crypto, there's a lot of money floshing around. But not many people have a beautiful studio and a great audience that might actually become future customers. So that's one of the reasons we get some of the best deals on the planet, is because people want not just the cash, but the media. And it's one of the ways I can give people like you access to these deals. Then something weird happened after the interview. First of all, Zoltan said, Brian, this is going to 100x. So if you hold your tokens, you're going to be worth 20 million soon. I said, okay, thanks for the info. Second thing, he said, Brian, I want to join your investment club. And this really threw me, because here is a really plugged in CEO on the blockchain. I figured he sees deals. Why would he need my deals? And he said, Brian, you get better deal flow than I do. You get cheaper prices because you have a big media company that everybody wants a piece of. And I said, okay, I never thought about it, but I do know you're going to have to talk to Martini because she makes the decisions and she doesn't do discounts. So good luck. Here's her number. And sure enough, 2 weeks later, he joined. So if you ever come on one of our investment club calls, you'll see Zoltan there. He's made about 13 deals with us. He also runs an AI company on the blockchain. Now, for me, this was the greatest testimonial I could ever receive, that someone in the industry actually joined our club. Pretty cool, right? Right? I was like, wow, okay, I guess we're doing something right. This is another deal we did called Shrapnel. It's actually a video game on the blockchain. And this is their CEO named Mark Long. He flew in from Seattle to be on the show. And we did a 20x in 20 days on that deal, made about $5 million for our group. This is the Mochaverse. And this gentleman here is named Yatsu. He really is a visionary. I believe he's the next Elon Musk. And he owns a company called Animoca Brands. They've invested in 570 different gaming companies on the blockchain. He really is a visionary. And we invested in their identity layer called Mochaverse. This thing is screaming right now, this token. And it was up 20x on launch. And just to give you an idea, if you had put 10,000 on this investment, that one deal would be worth $200,000. You know, it starts to become real money. And one of the other great deals that we've done. This is a deal called Story Protocol, was up 22x, and we invested alongside some big investors. One of them is called A16Z, which is probably runs about $10-20 billion in capital. And of course, this was our first meme coin called Cats. It was up 14x, and one of our members, Christina, she woke up and she looked at her phone, and it said she had made $420,000. She thought her phone was broken. She sent a screenshot to the group, and we said, no, that's right. And her and her mom made a $420,000 profit. Now, maybe that's not enough to quit your job, but it's definitely enough to put a smile on your face that day and give you a little bit of breathing room. And of course, this was the $1 billion fund we invested in. It's run by this guy here named Dan Tapiero. I think he's the greatest trader I've ever met, and I met them all when I worked on Wall Street, when I worked in Chicago, Tokyo, and London. He has created a fund called 1RT. It's actually a very conservative fund that only invests in equities, not even tokens. And he's already done a 4x on our investment. We put $1 million into this thing. Martini's in this deal. I'm in this deal. About 50 of our members are in this deal. If you look at the companies in his portfolio here, you'll notice some of these because they've all been going public lately on the New York Stock Exchange. So here he was on that right-hand picture for the IPO of Circle, which is probably the most prominent stablecoin currently in the world, USDC. And there he is with Jeremy Allaire, the CEO. And of course, another one of his companies, eToro, recently went public. Gemini is going public. Kraken's going public. And of course, they just sold a company called Deribit for about $3 billion to Coinbase. We have positions in all of those companies, and we're making a lot of money with Dan. He's actually got a new fund coming soon next month, and we're offering our members access to that fund too. Folks, I want to show you some of our latest deals. And this is a really cool section where you kind of get to see how we see deals behind the scenes. And these calls happen. There's Zoom calls just like this every Monday, every Thursday, 7 p.m. on Monday. It's actually 6 p.m. UK time on Thursday. And CEOs come and they pitch us, just like on that show Shark Tank. And then we decide whether we want to invest in their companies. It's great because it's live. We put these CEOs under pressure. And quite frankly, we see if they can perform. It's really that simple. We are closing a deal right now called OneFootball, which refers to the game in the US might know as soccer. And this company is hot. It's huge. They've been running for 10 years, and now they're jumping on the blockchain. They've got 30 million registered customers with email and a lot of data, and they're bringing them on the blockchain for a tiny valuation. This is OneFootball. This could easily be a multi-billion-dollar token.
It's just absolutely crazy.
It's better than anything I've seen.
It's a great opportunity.
I definitely would like to invest in this one.
OneFootball is a giant in the football space. We connect the industry with fans. We talk about 30 million users that are logged into OneFootball. 200 million users we reach with our content experience, our video network. That makes us the biggest data provider and data owner in the football space. Every blue chip football club like Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, Barcelona, PSG are shareholders in OneFootball, which gives us unique access to these clubs, but also unique insights of what the clubs are looking for. We are streaming roughly 8,000 to 9,000 football matches a season. We are, I would say, one of the biggest football streamer on the planet. We are not looking for short-term gains or anything. For us, it's really long-term.
Why take this beautiful business and screw it all up with a token?
And the answer is simple. It's the user data. Fan identity is for us the next level, and the token is a tool for us. We are in a brilliant position to leverage that fan data and Web3 product in the future with the Fan Identity project.
2 thumbs up if you love this project, 2 from Marco, 2 from Nicole, 2 for Hausler, 2 for Todd. So it looks like 100% thumbs up.
It is a great opportunity for people to move from Web 2 to Web 3.
By just looking at their app, it's mind-boggling. It's amazing.
They've been in business for a while and they have a good thing going. I felt like they were upfront about things. I felt like they were people that you could trust.
They're definitely thinking about the community and doing this methodically. I love everything that they're doing. They're doing a great job. I really love this project.
For me, it's 50 million. That's the number that just sells this, that valuation. It's just got a ton of upside. Could it go to 500 million? Could it go to $1 billion? Easily. Could it go to 2 billion? That's 20x, 40x. That's like real money. Booyah. What do you think? Pretty cool opportunity, right? The thing is, the company is probably worth just under $1 billion as it is. They're launching a token at a 50 million valuation. So if the token comes on par with the actual company, which it very well could, they do streaming, they do marketing, then that's already a 20x. And then it's the place for football. And they pretty much cover every team in the world. They're already going to be a profitable company next year. It's honestly the opposite of what people do in crypto. A lot of people in crypto, they create a product and they try to find the customers. These people have the customers and they're bringing a product. And Animoca's back in this 100%. I don't know. This is honestly probably one of the hottest deals we've seen, and we're pretty excited. You can also see the format. Those people talking are our members. So they're saying why they like a project. You could see the CEO pitching. I'm asking them hard questions, and it all happens in real time. Either they perform or they don't. If they don't perform, we throw them off the call. We don't invest. If they do, we do our due diligence. If they check out, then we put money in, we get the tokens, and there you go. We're off to the races. So that's how we do that. You're also welcome to join us on a call on Monday or a Thursday. Just send Martini a direct message and she'll get you an invite to the call. Look, some of the things will go over your head, but you'd be amazed. Within 2 or 3 calls, you're like, okay, I like that deal. I don't like that deal. And if you know 100% of the club is going in on a deal, you know that there's probably something special there. So that's one of the deals. It's called OneFootball. The other one is called Crypto Nights. This is actually the Dragon's Den for crypto. This show is actually on Amazon Prime right now. And it's a show that has a bunch of knights. They're like dragons that go ahead and invest in the companies that pitch. Funny enough, 4 of our portfolio companies went on and already raised millions of dollars on this TV show. And the kicker is that when we invest in this company, we get tokens in all of the companies that pitch on that show, which are by definition the best of the best. And by definition, the companies that are getting funded on the show. So it really is this amazing flywheel of winning. And this is Crypto Nights.
It looks like a very good project.
Production value is really high.
We've never seen anything like it.
There's a lot of opportunity here.
Crypto Nights is not just a TV show, it is a complete ecosystem. Some people call it the Shark Tank for crypto. Projects from across the globe come and pitch to a very elite set of investors. We're an Emmy Award nominated production team. I've been in the entertainment business for about 20 years. We started generating revenue even before we started filming season 1. We generated $4.9 million worth of token revenue. In season 2, we are anticipating $6 million. Plus, our goal is really to make this a global brand, and we want to lead the space with Crypto Nights.
VC funding for crypto projects is not as robust as it was last year. Is that a challenge for you right now?
From our point of view, that's not a big challenge. Projects need us more now than ever before because we give them access to that capital. Folks like Blue Whale, I think they raised like over $1 million in that one session. So that's where we make that massive difference.
So if I own some Knight tokens, I'm owning a small piece of every company that's coming on your program in the future.
That's true, every single company. By simply buying the Crypto Nights token, you could end up owning 100 different tokens.
2 thumbs up if you like this play. Arno's up, Jose 2 up, Christopher is in, Tracy's in, Federica's in, Oliver's in, Trevor's in, Camille's in, KN's in. Dr. Encore, your thoughts?
They've got the media distribution to actually help these projects do well and get the word out.
It has an excellent format. Seems to be very experienced in the media. He understands the crypto market, the crypto environment.
So this is an unusual project. It really is diversifying our portfolio. They already have a proven track record of being profitable in season 1.
I love the idea that it's not only investing in the production company, but also potential to invest in the other projects. I'm really excited about this one.
All right, what do you all think of Crypto Nights? Do you like that one? It's kind of cool. It's a new way to find customers. You're doing it via TV, no more social media. And again, the guy really has been in that space for a long time. So look, those are 2 deals. We're currently closing about 4 or 5 right now, but that's the format. People really learn a lot. We're real big fans of education. So our members are constantly learning. Every single call you go to, you get better and better and better at making deals. And I encourage you all to come check that out. It's really a lot of fun to be in. You know, a lot of people have been asking us, how does London Real pick so many winners? How do you keep doing these 14Xs and 20Xs and 22Xs? And we thought about it and we realized it wasn't just luck. And we believe that success is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. The truth is, we've put in over 4 years of hard work in this space, right? We were doing this when nobody wanted to talk about crypto in, October of 22, when Bitcoin supposedly was going to zero. We were investing in deals, and we did it every single month for the past 48, 50, 55 months. And we've gotten really good at it. We've got a great reputation. We build a network. We've now invested in over 100 different deals. And that's the reason we're successful. Folks, a lot of you have felt like Drake on the top, and you've really struggled when you've invested in crypto. Has anybody lost money in crypto here? Come on, be honest. Chris, maybe you? Look, no, Kate hasn't, but she hasn't invested yet. So look, the truth is it's a jungle out there. The first time you go into crypto, you don't know what you're doing. You go on Twitter or X and you listen to some goofball influencer with a fake name and a fake picture, and you pretty much find out you buy a fake coin and you get burned. And maybe you get on a meme coin and you get burned and you think this place sucks and I leave. And I hate that, because this really is the future of finance. And so we've decided to create another way, a better way. And that's to invest alongside of us. We have the track record, we have the network, and we're here for the next 10, 20 years. And so for us, this isn't some quick thing. We're really committed to this because this aligns with our values of freedom at the end of the day. Folks, it's called the Investment Club. It's the greatest product we've ever created. We have 150 people that have signed on basically for lifetime membership to basically create generational wealth. What I want to do is get you out of the rat race, unplug you from the matrix, stop you trying to save your money for retirement, which we know is a joke anyways, and create real wealth with digital assets, period. Look, I worked on Wall Street for 15 years. That's all fake money and it's all fake stuff. And the one thing I like about crypto and Bitcoin is that they're independent assets from the governments and the currencies that they print more of, they inflate, and they tax you on. And so if you don't see this, if you're not in these assets, I don't think you're going to find freedom. And what I want to do is create that wealth so you can go do something amazing with your life. And I'm going to start doing this with 150 people. Soon it'll be 1,000, 10,000, 100,000. And I think the wealth we create will spill out into families and communities. And I think we'll end up really changing the lives of tens of millions, hundreds of millions, and maybe even more people around the world. So this is our solution, really, to the problem I think we've all struggled with. If this is of interest to you, just know that Martini is the only person to talk to. She's the best connection. Here's 4 different ways to get in touch with her. And I just wanted to let you know before I did the rest of the presentation that we do have a solution for you. And if for some reason, you have to jump, know that just reaching out to Martini right now is the best way. And she's really willing to have a call with you and just talk about your situation and where you want to go and how we can help. And that's really what this is all about. So feel free to reach out to Martini, book a call with her, and learn more about what we're doing. Folks, we also have a 4-week, 4-module option. It's called the Crypto and DeFi Academy. It's what I call takes you from zero to hero in all things Bitcoin and blockchain. Look, it's 8 hours of live calls with me personally. I've got an online e-learning platform with video modules I pre-recorded. I've got a triple-tiered accountability system. So you have to do the work. I don't allow slackers and procrastinators, not with my time. I don't like people wasting my time. We got dedicated coaches and team leaders. Carla's there, Martini's there, and we got a private group for posting assignments. We're actually finishing up this course. We start a new one on Monday. First week, we go to the history of Bitcoin. You actually read the Bitcoin white paper, learn about the creation of Ethereum, stablecoins, all the way up to the DeFi summer of 2020 and beyond. Week 2, we roll up our sleeves, hot wallets, cold wallets, centralized exchange systems, and you're going to do your very first DeFi trade on Uniswap. I don't like to play games. Week 3, we go heavy into DeFi. You're going to learn how to earn interest on your crypto, how to do liquidity pools, and how to buy options on crypto. And number 4, we're going to show you how to make a ton of money by intelligently managing your portfolio. I'm going to take all the lessons I learned from Wall Street and apply them to crypto. So that's the course. 4 weeks, boom, boom, bam. Think about it. By September, you'll be ready to go and make a lot of money in this space. And of course, you're pre-approved to buy live on this call. We've just cut the price down 80%. I think it's $997 for this. It's a steal. And you're pre-approved at londonreal.tv/buy. I definitely recommend it. Also, here's an 8-step trading checklist. I actually give it away in the course, but this is just a gift for you. Take a screenshot. Trust me, if you check each one of these things before you ever do a trade, you're going to save yourself a lot of money over time. And it's just one of the things that we cover inside the course. Folks, this is the big news that I wanted to talk about. Trump Media buys $2 billion in Bitcoin for their crypto treasury plan. This is the new narrative, folks. I'm getting calls every day, sometimes 2 or 3 times a day, for me to be an advisor on all these treasury companies, some here in the UK, some in the US, some in Canada, and they're all amassing huge chunks of Bitcoin, of Ethereum, of Solana, because what happens is these publicly traded companies trade at multiples to the underlying crypto that they're holding. Has anyone heard of a company called MicroStrategy, also known as Strategy, run by a guy named Michael Saylor? Anybody here? Well, he's kind of a guy that's been buying Bitcoin for the last 5 years. He owns $70 billion of Bitcoin. He owns 600,000 Bitcoins, as you would say, as your grandpa would say, right? And this is the new narrative, and it's the new strategy. And this is what's this infinite money loop that we're talking about, or this glitch. And so that's the next article here. This infinite money glitch is coming. And it's this concept that you can raise money, buy Bitcoin, and then that causes your stock to go up, where you raise money and buy more Bitcoin. And Michael Saylor is riding this thing until the tires fall off. And now a lot of people see that his company is the fastest growing company in the world in the last 5 years. Faster than NVIDIA, which is now a $4 trillion company. Michael Saylor's strategy has grown even faster. And now everybody is executing the same strategy. So it's an exciting time. It's also one of the reasons crypto going up, and one of the reasons we're also making so much money. One thing I will say is be careful when this comes down. And one thing great about having a community that's talking to each other probably 2-3 times a day is that we all know when to get out as well. And so come mid next year, we plan to get out of everything, and if not earlier than that. And this is it, folks. It's the financial engineering approach of using debt and equity issuance, like convertible notes and stock, to create this flywheel effect where you keep buying crypto. And so a lot of people are doing this. Michael Saylor is doing this, and it doesn't look like it's stopping anytime soon. Of course, we've seen Bitcoin smash through 120,000, went up to 123,000. And honestly, any day I know I can wake up and we're going to be at an all-time high. This is happening, and it's going to keep happening for the rest of the year. And of course, Wall Street is quietly braced for the floodgates to open. All-time highs are happening, and this is going to be a crazy month. Some people are calling for 150K Bitcoin. Of course, this is really right in our sights. It's only 20% higher than it is now. And we know that trillions and trillions are coming into this ecosystem, with the Fed and Trump potentially working together towards the end of the year. Now, Standard Chartered Bank has called for $500,000 Bitcoin. Look, it could happen. I don't know if we're going to see that this cycle, but then again, it could get really crazy toward the ends of the year. And of course, this was the recent IPO by Circle. That's the stablecoin company. I actually interviewed Jeremy Allaire on London Real a couple of years back. And of course, our friend Dan Tapiero, it was a big investor. The stock is actually up 6-7x since it issued, which is like crypto prices, but that's actually a stock. And this is what they call the ChatGPT moment in crypto. The stable coin is now the thing that is getting everybody to notice that this is going to be the future. And now we're hearing that a new wave, or a $15 trillion earthquake, is coming straight for Ethereum, Solana, and Bitcoin. My question for you is, are you prepared? Do you have enough invested right now where you're going to make 7 figures in the next 2 quarters? If the answer is no, what are you doing? Like, you need to be prepared for this. And I tell my members of the investment club, you need 8 to 10 pre-sale investments, right? That gives you 50K exposed, and maybe a little more if you want to put in there. You get a 20x on that, that's $1 million. You get a 40x, that's $2 million. So you need some exposure, or you're going to miss this. You're going to have the greatest bull market of our generation, and you're going to make $400. Not a good look, especially when you know you're right about this. Now, a lot of you know I ran to be mayor of London. Back in 24, I had a pro-crypto platform. People were like, what is this crypto stuff? But we were big on freedom of speech, big on freedom of finance. I actually asked for the blockchain, to the voting to be on the blockchain, the budget to be on the blockchain. And I wanted to create literally something called the London coin and give 100 pounds of crypto to every man, woman, and child. I'm big on financial education. And that's what I've been calling for the last 4 years. And we're still calling for it. I'm here to educate the world. Folks, this is me in our Dubai studio the last 6 months. I move over there because it's the center of crypto. And quite frankly, I can find the deals there that are going to make you millions of dollars. Now, this is Dr. Marwan El-Zerrouni, good friend of mine, runs the Dubai Blockchain Center, and he really is plugged into all things crypto. This is Uni Wong. She's a major crypto influencer. She can move markets with her tweets. This is Carl Moon. He was working as a grocery clerk in Stockholm a few years ago. I've seen the pictures. Now he's a Bitcoin billionaire. So when I hear excuses from people like you that tell me, oh, I'm busy, I got working a job, I got 2 kids, I'm like, really? This guy was a grocery store clerk and he's made crazy gains. This is Chris Crypto. You can follow him on Twitter. He was driving a taxi in Germany a few years ago, and now he's a Bitcoin billionaire as well. All it takes is a will and a way, and it takes you to stop with your excuses, stop with all your research, right, which is procrastination in disguise, and to pull the damn trigger and get in there. You're not going to have another chance to do this. Folks, right now we're investing over $5 million into 15 different blockchain and AI deals this quarter. I tell you that because we're very active. We know what's hot, what's not, and we can show you what's made money this year and what's going to make money for the rest of the year. And it's all because of London Real Ventures. This is the entity we created. It's the world's first media-powered investment firm. No one's ever done this before. Taking a huge, massive media company like London Real, 1 billion views, 5 million subscribers, right? 14 years in the business, and combine it with a venture capital company with $25 million. You put these two together and magic happens. And that magic looks like this. This is our portfolio. What an incredible group of companies. Each one with the potential to become a $2 billion or a $5 billion protocol. What you see here is decentralized finance, AI on the blockchain, gaming companies, you name it, we've got it in here. And of course, we just hit a major milestone. We've now invested over $21 million into over 100 different blockchain and AI deals. It's pretty impressive. Honestly, we're bigger than most funds right now. We're that big. And we started off as, you know, just a humble media company, and we've grown to this massive investment vehicle. And of course, one of the reasons we win is we invest alongside big ones. Names you've heard of like Coinbase Ventures, Galaxy Digital, Warner Brothers Music. It's one of the reasons we're constantly successful, because we invest with the big money. And of course, I recently accepted this award for Best Venture Capital KOL of the Year. KOL stands for Key Opinion Leader. And I went to Singapore, and it was just great to be recognized by the industry as being the best at what we do. Of course, I accepted this, you know, on behalf of all the members of the club. And then recently in Dubai, I got a Lifetime Achievement Award from the Global Family Office Summit for our media and for our investments. And of course, we're very well known in the crypto community now for our investments, for our media, and now for our boxing acumen. And when this punk kid started talking trash about London Real, I had to lace up and teach him some manners. The rematch is in October in Singapore. Get your tickets now. Folks, we believe the greatest way to predict the future is just to go out there and create it. How many people like to live their life that way? Anybody like to do that, right? Just to go out and get some, right, John? Well, if your hands aren't up, you might as well get off this call. I don't need your vibes around me. I need people that want to come with me for the big win, right? That want to go shoulder to shoulder with me into battle. Let's be honest, folks, in 2020, you guys know what happened to us. We had to fight big tech and big government and the WHO, and everybody were shutting us down. And we were like, to hell with you guys. We're going to keep broadcasting whether it kills us. And we did, and we won. And so we don't play games here. When we see an issue that we're facing now with our currency being debased and with AI taking over the world and all these centralized institutions trying to tell us what to do, we know how to fight back. And we're going to win. We're going to make a boatload of money in the process. And we're looking for people that want to come with us. And it all comes down to our value system here. This is written on the wall in our headquarters here in London. We're here to create a mass-scale transformation of humanity into a fully empowered, conscious, and cooperative species. We are different. They are not like us. I want to give you your power back, your consciousness back. We want to cooperate. Your big tech and your big pharma and your big media trying to divide us and disempower us. We don't do that. And that's one of the reasons we've been massively successful. Now, of course, you guys know that for me, it's not just business, it's also personal, because I got these two fellas that I have to take care of. I have to protect and provide for over the coming decade of massive uncertainty. This is Caden on the right. He's 9 years old. This is Damon in the middle. He's turning 8 next month, and they are full of beans and full of Bitcoin as well. They both have Bitcoin. Damon just got some Ethereum. He's quite bullish on it, which is pretty smart. And quite honestly, folks, I'm looking to provide for their future. Does anybody here have children or family or parents that you're looking out for in the future? Trust me, your parents aren't getting any younger. That'll happen real quick. Well, they're going to look to you to provide and protect. And I don't know about you, but the only way to do this is to take risks. Playing it safe is the most dangerous thing you can do. A lot of you guys know that. How's your savings account working out for you? You know, the dollar has been debased 30% in the last 3 years. The pound is worse, and most currencies are worse than that. And you're saving your money like you were told to in 4th grade by who knows who, right? There's no way for you to get out of the matrix until you change your behavior. And digital assets are the only way that I see possible. And so the question is, are you prepared to take the risk that's going to provide you the reward where you can take care of yourself and your people? Because it's not going to happen with casual steps. And so for me, whenever I'm having a tough day, I just think about these guys and I get in there and I make the hard decisions. I go into the fear, I take chances. And that's how I'm going to create a future reality for them. Because 10 years from now, when they come to me and say, Papa, where's our Bitcoin? Where's our freedom? I'm not going to give them some excuse. Folks, this is Michael Saylor. He thinks Bitcoin is the apex property of the human race. He owns 600,000 of them, so he must know what he's talking about, right, Kate? He has been amassing Bitcoin pretty much every month for the last 5 years. He has a joke. He says, I'm going to be buying the high for the rest of my life, right? He understands there's only a finite number of these things, 21 million. He's going to get as many as possible. And he really started off the whole concept of a Bitcoin treasury company, or this infinite money glitch that I was referring to. Michael graduated from MIT about 3 years before I did. And at MIT, they taught us how to think for ourselves. It was crazy. It was really weird. They're like, why don't you figure it out and stop listening to what everybody else is telling you and try to figure out if it makes sense. And in 2020, when Michael saw him printing money, he said, to hell with this, I'm going to stop holding cash. Like I said, he owns 70 billion in crypto. He's going to buy another 40 billion in Bitcoin. He believes that each coin is going to $13 million each. And he believes that AIs and ETFs are going to power a decade-long gold rush for Bitcoin. Now, I've taught thousands of students about crypto, and they always say, Brian, where do I get my information from? Should I go to a crypto news website? Should I follow some Twitter influencer? I'm like, no, that's a bunch of big waste of your time. What you should do is listen to the men and women who have done big things in this space. And guess what? Michael Saylor is one of them. So take 2 minutes out of your life and listen to Michael. See if you can learn something. This is what he told me on his last visit to London Real.
We went from investing 250 million in Bitcoin to 425 million in Bitcoin to eventually $1 billion in Bitcoin to $2 billion in Bitcoin to just slightly less than $4 billion.
You said there are decades when nothing happens and there are weeks when Bitcoin happens.
So every decade there's some profound paradigm shift. It's such an out of the blue idea that no one can conceive of why you would even want it. What you've got is a lot of people questioning all their premises, and rising through that chaos is a new idea. What if I can encrypt energy? What if I can encrypt money such that nobody on earth, no government can debase it, no corporation can steal it? I don't trust anybody. I'm going to create a shared immutable ledger, incorruptible, immortal, transcendental ledger. If I can transfer $1 million of value from me to you without an intermediary, that means I have transcended the political realm.
You said, Brian, I like Bitcoin because it has low aspirations.
The idea of Bitcoin was, how do I create a protocol that's fair and equitable that I give as a gift to the world that no one can control? If you're going to do it and you understand thermodynamics, and if you have any sense of genetics or biology or physics, you realize you need to be very humble in your aspirations. How do we give the gift of property rights, freedom, and sovereignty and empowerment to everybody on the planet? The best idea 30 years ago was YouTube or Google Maps, Twitter or Facebook or email. I think the best idea for the next 30 years is digital energy. Everybody can own their stuff and nobody can take it away from them.
All right, we like Michael. We're feeling his vibe, right? Great visionary. We're going to build a statue to him one day, put it up in somewhere in Switzerland or something. Michael's great. I really treasure the conversation with him. If it wasn't for him, I don't know if we'd be where we are right now. Takeaways from Michael is, number one, crypto is encrypted energy. It's really a way to think about walking around with a pocket full of energy. Proof of work means you have to take energy to create Bitcoin. And it's just a whole nother way of thinking about that type of money. No government can debase it. No corporation can steal it because crypto actually transcends money. It's the soundest form of money we've ever experienced, something we really don't understand. And that's what's so special about Bitcoin and crypto. Folks, if it wasn't obvious, 2025 is the year of crypto. You've already missed more than half of it, and you're about to miss the whole damn thing, which is probably, I think, one of your few opportunities in your whole life to create generational wealth in one cycle. Look, the last time I saw this happening was when I was the CFO of a dot-com startup. I moved from London to New York City in 99, and I rode that wave for the next 2 or 3 years. Now, I don't know about you, but I didn't make money in the tech boom. I was too young. I wasn't really invested. Our dot-com went bust, and there's not many chances. Here we are, what, 26 years later for the second chance. Maybe there's another one in 26 years. I don't know. I'm going to be 80 years old then. I don't want to wait that long. Do you want to wait, Kate? I don't. This is the time, folks. I've been in this business now hardcore for 4 years. I bought my first Bitcoin in 2013. All right. This 4-year cycle is coming now. It's going to be over by 26, and then everything's going to go down. Are you prepared to create that wealth? You know that you're right. If you're on this call, you're probably one of the few people out there that actually knows this is happening. The question is, are you going to take action? And why won't you take action? Will your fears stop you from making an obvious move, which is to get involved? So where and how do we invest? Well, first you have to run the right investment thesis, and I'll share that with you in the next couple slides. But there's one thing you're never going to find on your own. I'm positive you won't. I know you won't. And that is deal flow. Because I've tried to do this without any assistance before, and it's impossible. In fact, the deals you find will lose all of your money. If you go to the next conference and walk around the floor and meet some people and go in on their deals, you might as well just burn your money right there. If you go online to a forum or to a launch pad, forget about it. There's no deal flow access that's going to go anywhere. There's only one way to get the hottest deals in the world. They're going to make you the 10Xs and the 20Xs and the 30Xs. And that is this way, by me traveling to all of these places around the world and spending one-on-one, yeah, in real life, folks, it doesn't happen on a Zoom call, with the people that are going to bring you the deals that make you millions of dollars. And here's me on my first trip to Dubai many years ago, hanging out with the big influencers on the left, members of government, venture capitalists, and influencers. From there, I went to Paris, sat down with a really exclusive dinner with some of the hottest deals out there and the biggest VCs. Of course, I'm doing media, shooting documentary films, and of course, meeting more influencers, more media. Of course, I had to swing back to London, sat down with Yatsu of Animoca Brands, went to the Token 2049 conference, more influencers, more media, and then it's off to Austin, Texas. This is the Consensus Conference. I'm hanging out with celebrities like William Shatner of Star Trek, Alex Jones, my friend, and you can see on the bottom right, me and 14 members of our investment club. Can everybody see these people down there? Having a good time, right, Kate? They're having too much fun, I think, right? They had to throw us out of the restaurant that night. I don't even think many of us were drinking, having too much fun. Now, why are they celebrating? Well, let's be honest. We're making a ton of money, so that makes us smile. And we're changing the world, and we're working with the coolest people in the coolest space. And when you get us together, it's just a whole lot of fun, to be honest. From there, I was off to Singapore, more influencers, more media, and I'm changing the color of my suit every other minute, it looks like, from orange to white to red to pinstripe. I mean, I think I have a suit problem at this point, but it's all about getting attention. Some say my mother didn't give me enough attention. What do you think, Kate? It's very possible. And I'm trying to use that to my advantage to bring you guys the deals that you need. And it's true. When I walk across the conference floor with a Bitcoin orange suit, I do attract more deals than if I walked across in a pair of jeans. And so there's a method to my madness. And these suits have actually already made us a few $1 million. Don't tell my tailor. From here, I was off to Toronto, where we went to the Consensus Conference, more influencers. I always hang out with Yatsu as well. And you can see in the bottom right, more hanging out with our crazy investment club members. They're getting crazier. They're even trying to wear suits as crazy as mine, as you can see from Jacques. And what can I say? We love coming together, making money together. And again, one of the guys there, Jose, brings his 3 sons everywhere he comes with him. They're on the calls as well. We love this as a family affair for financial education. And of course, I always end up back in Dubai. This is my home away from home. And here I am on stage premiering films and meeting the big boys in the business like CZ of Binance. Folks, this is how I get you the deals that are going to make you ridiculous amounts of money. There's no other way. And this is what pretty much the rest of the world lacks. And it's just impossible to do on your own. Folks, if you want to win in this space, on top of that, you got to invest with the best. And this is a snapshot of the number of deals we'll look at on a weekly basis, and we'll really boil these down to just 3 or 4 who will come on the call. And those are those live calls that you saw earlier, and they'll pitch to us. And that's how we get some big winners. But you also have to understand the financial tools, and none of you understand what a pre-sale token is. And so you're missing, in my opinion, the best opportunity to make money in this space. But you also need the investment thesis. And we believe, as you can see here, that early stage Web3, metaverse, and artificial intelligence investments, well, they represent the hottest opportunity on the planet. Now, why? Well, number one, you buy at these super low valuations, super low, pennies on the dollar. You saw that. Number two, you see the biggest gains possible. Number three, you invest in what I'm calling the biggest dislocation of wealth in human history happening right now. Yes, it's high risk, but the reward is actually even higher. And it's all done with pre-sale tokens, secretly buying tokens that have not yet been issued to the public. And we buy them, from these CEOs, and then a month later, boom, they're available. We got a TGE I just posted in the group, Martini, happening, what is it, the 31st? So it's up next Wednesday or something. And we just closed that deal 2 weeks ago. So 3 weeks later, we're getting tokens. This is a post-quantum protocol, right? Quantum computers. Anybody ever heard of quantum computers, right? They're going to kill the world, and they're going to basically break all your passwords and break all the cryptography for Bitcoin. We've invested in a company that's going to protect that, and it's going public basically next week. And that's the first time people around the world can buy tokens. We already have our tokens at pennies on the dollar. Watch this thing. It's going to spike. And you're going to kick yourself that you weren't in this deal. It's so easy to do, but it's something that only we're really giving access to these deals. I don't know of another platform in the world that gives people like you access to pre-sale deals. And this is one of them. Again, how many people here have heard of Solana before? Kate, you've heard of it. John, Chris, I bet you've heard of it. Scott. Yeah, it's the 5th largest blockchain out there, 4th largest. Well, did you know that April 5th, can everyone see that red circle there? They had a pre-sale token. Can everyone see the blue circle? That's the price per token, 4 pennies. This is all public information on the blockchain. Go look it up. It's hard to find though, because trust me, Coinbase doesn't want you to know that you could have bought these for 4 pennies, because they're selling them for $200 each. And so what would have happened? Well, what did happen? Well, you know what happened, right? 4 pennies to $200. $1,000 invested would have made you $5 million. That's real money, folks. That's money that you can use to do anything you want. You can quit your job. You can start a business. You can give it away, right? Whatever you want to do. You can put your grandkids through college with that kind of money. And so one of these deals can change your life forever. Now, for me, money equals freedom. Now, who here wants more freedom in their life? Anybody here? I think we all do, right? Most people's hands go up, right? And that's what we want to do. We want to just give you the freedom to take a step back and figure out, okay, what do I want to do? Because most of us are in a constant state of stress about money. We just are. And honestly, I think that's maybe even by design. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I leave that to my guests on the show, but it just keeps you in a constant state of panic. And guess what? You're very easy to control in that state, and you'll do whatever they say. I want to get you out of that state to where you can make your own decisions. Now, quick question. Did anybody buy Solana for 4 pennies each? Martini, we used to get people that raise their hand on these calls. I was like, really, bro? Right. Sherry, you bought them for 4 pennies each? Well, send us some then. Come on, money bags, right? But most of you didn't, right? Now, why? Let's just think about it. Why? I'll tell you why. Because you didn't know someone like me. You didn't know someone like me who could send you a text message on the morning of that deal saying, hey, Kate, right? Hey, Brandon. Hey, John. How would you like to buy some Solana, right? Would anybody have liked to get a text message that morning, right? Just having a little link saying, hey, how would you like to buy some Solana at 4 pennies each? I think you would. I would as well, right? And my question is for you, how would you like to get a text message from me every single day with a brand new deal? And I don't just ask that as some hypothetical question, because I've got a Telegram group in with the Investment Club right here on the app Telegram. And every single day I post a message that goes out as a text. And at the top is pinned. This deal here is the Crypto Nights deal that I just showed you. If you click this link, which I can't show you, then you'll go to the site, and within 30 seconds, you can make an investment in this company. It's that simple, right? My job is to give you the information and the option every day with a text. And then it's your decision what to invest. And that's the other thing. I don't invest your money for you, Chris. I think that's an insult. I teach you how to invest, and you make the decision, right? We're all about education. You could say, Brian, I don't like crypto nights. Leave me alone. Fine. Brian, I'm going to put 5K. We got one of the whales in my group. His name is John Boyle. He puts 50K a pop. He's like 50K, 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 right? One of our deals did a 20X recently. He made $1 million. Okay, there you go, right? Whatever your risk appetite is up to you. And that can change over time. If you make $1 million in a deal, maybe the next time you'll put more on the deal. It's up to you. And it reminds me of that line from my favorite movie called Wall Street, where Gordon Gekko says, the most valuable commodity I know of is information. That's what I think about every day. What's the information I can get to you, Katie, to you, Sherry, to you, Scott, to you, Allison, that can change your life? And it's that text message, right? You don't have to act on it, but it's my job to get you that information so you have the choice. Folks, how do you create generational wealth in this space? You got to pull the goddamn trigger. Pardon my language. Now, a lot of you come on and watch these videos. I see you here every week. You read those articles all the time on X, and you don't do anything. And you're going to end up 6 months later with nothing to show for it, except you can tell your friends what the Bitcoin halving is. Congratulations, right? You can tell them that Ethereum is a proof of stake network. Congratulations. How much money did you make? Nothing. The only way to make money in the space is to pull the trigger. And that's what my students do. And that's what you're not doing because you're in fear, right? It's a pre-sale token. It looks complicated, Brian. It's actually not. I have one of my students the other day, Martini, what did they say? They said, yeah, doing a deal is like any other deal, like buying a house. He's like, you decide, you sign the paperwork, you send the money, and then you wait. Like, it's just like any other thing I've done. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. It is. And so, but most people are too scared. And so you just sit and you watch this opportunity go by. And how many opportunities are you going to watch go by, right? And have nothing to show for it. And the reason I get this passionate about it is because anybody from a taxi driver to a grocery store clerk can make money in this market, and you're not. You know, one of my mentors, he gets frustrated because the smart people are so smart, they don't pull the trigger, right? They're always researching it. He's like, the smarter my students are, the poorer they are. The dumber they are, the more money they make because they just do it. They don't overthink it. And I mean, like, I think I got some crazy ass mentors, but I think maybe there's some truth. And it reminds me of this video that actually one of my mentors played for me at his castle. You can guess who that might be. And it's a great metaphor because I think we've all been in this position before of this lion, right? Now, this lion is probably hungry. This lion probably hasn't eaten in a few days, probably has a bunch of cubs at home like you do that are crying out for food. And you got these big, beautiful meals coming in front of you. Oh, maybe I'll get that one. Oh, maybe I'll invest in that token. No, not that one. No, I'm tired. No, I can't afford it. No, I just got a job. I just quit my job. Oh man, maybe not that one. And then someone like me comes in, I'll take that 20X. And then the other lion ran off. Nothing to show for it. Now, what's the difference between those two lions? They're both hungry, right? They're both capable. One of them just pulled the trigger and took action. And so I just think about that. I don't know about you. Has anybody watched opportunities go by in your life and not done anything? And you're like, what was I thinking? That happened to me a lot. Until at one point I got angry. And I think anger can be a tool if used correctly. And I said, to hell with this. I'm not going to miss another deal. And I'm going to fight my brain's power to say, no, Brian, let it go. Let it go. It's too scary. What if this happens? What if one of the buffalo bumps me in the head? I'm like, to hell with that. Let's go get one. And then when you do, you realize it's right there. It's right there waiting to be taken. And this is what happens when you pull the trigger. You get companies like this. Each one of these companies with the potential to become a $2-5 billion protocol. And with all these investments, I'm going to make my members just filthy rich. That's my job, just disgustingly rich. And it's all because of London Real Ventures. Folks, this is the entity that allows me to attract the best deals in the world because they come for the media, not for my good looks, right? And it gets you access to those deals that normally you wouldn't have a prayer of getting in on these deals. They would be for $1 billion fund, right? They would never come to you for as little as $5,000. This is the structure that pulls in from both sides, you and the CEOs all into the center. And it's how we've had success. And it's because of my quadruple threat. Number one is production. The CEOs want to come to my studio in London, sit down with me for 2 hours, 6-camera, high definition interview, and we're going to create the best piece of media they've ever seen for their company. I take that, I put it in the front of 5 million followers around the world, all potential customers. Number 3, I connect them with the big players in the world, the Yatsus and the Dan Tapieros. And number 4, we write them a big fat $200,000 check. There's not a single CEO that can say no to this, John, Brandon. They can't say no. And that's how we get the deals. And we say no to 99% of the people that want this deal. We turn down deals left and right. I get emails every day. I just delete. We only go for the best deals with the best funding and the best partners, the best track record, the best CEOs. And that's the reason we've been winning. Folks, there's one last piece, and I'm going to hit this one. Don't be offended, but I'm going to give you a truth that maybe nobody's telling you. You got to surround yourself with the best. And most of you just aren't right now. Now, how many people agree with this phrase, or the average of the 5 people you surround yourself with? Brandon, you agree with that? John, you probably agree with that. Cher, you know it's true, right? Kate, you don't agree? Who are you the average with then? Huh? Who are you the average of? Send me a message. Tell me, right? I think it's very true. Maybe you could say 7. Maybe you could add a media personality. But the truth is that you are who you hang out with. And you could have the biggest aspirations in the world. But if you're hanging out with Mikey from high school you graduated with, and Mikey's still living like he was in high school, then it's not going to work. If you're hanging out with a toxic family member who doesn't believe in you, and quite frankly, who doesn't really want to see you more successful than them, then you're going to always feel that. If you're hanging in a small town with small vibes, if you're a big fish in a little pond, you're going to stay in that little pond for a long time. And so this is the biggest mistake I see people making. If you want to be a billionaire, get in a room with billionaires. It's not going to happen when you're in the room with a bunch of people making minimum wage. It's just not going to happen. And I don't care how many books you read and how many videos you watch. It's just very, very difficult to happen. And I know this because I've tried both ways. And when I look back at my life was a process, I think by chance, of surrounding myself with an ever increasing higher level peer group that pushed me and made me very uncomfortable. And so Brian on the left is 16-year-old Brian making $6 an hour in San Diego. And I would probably be there today making the same wage if I hadn't have studied hard in high school and got into MIT at the top. Here I am graduating in 1993, and I'm with the smartest people in the world, right? Crazy. These people push me to the limit, but I'm still a broke college student. I need to get my money right. So I took those grades and I went to Wall Street on the right. Here I am, Bankers Trust, 33rd floor. Man, that place was nasty. 300 alpha males and females, each making $9 to $12 million a year. Man, you better stay out of their way. That's for sure. They will knock you over physically, shout in your face, spit in your face, the whole thing. But they showed me how to make a lot of money. And a few years later, I was making millions. This is about getting in the right room. Now, if I'd played it safe and hung out of my hometown, no chance, right? And so I ask all of you right now, are you really going to make the money you want hanging out with the people you're hanging out with? Does anybody here have a toxic family member in your life that just doesn't believe in you? Does anybody here have an old friend that's not really going anywhere in their life? I think you all know what I'm talking about, right? Spend the weekend getting drunk and watching Netflix for 7 hours, right? And gossiping about people. That's not the way it works. And so I always ask people here, what if you told that group of friends, I'm going to make 10 million bucks in crypto with Brian Rose this year? What would they say, Chris? Would they laugh at you a little bit behind your back? Oh man, Chris is talking about that Bitcoin again. Chris, here we go. Right? Probably been drinking. That guy's never going to do that, is he? No, never. Right? They don't believe in you. So how are they ever going to empower you? Right? And that's why I created my investment club. So you can hang out with people like Marianne Bartels. All right. Marianne's one of my founding members. She's a 35-year Wall Street veteran, chief investment officer for Merrill Lynch, Bank of America, those banks. She's made her clients tens of billions of dollars. Now, Chris, what do you think Marianne's going to tell you when you tell her you want to make 10 million bucks in crypto? What's Marianne going to say? She's going to say, Chris, baby, 10 million bucks, Chris. Why are you playing so small, Chris? Right? Marianne's going to say, let's make 100 million bucks. Let's make $1 billion over 10 years, Chris. You want to hang out with someone like Marianne? Anybody want to hang out with someone like her? Right? You say you do till you hang out with them. They'll push you. Try going to see Dan Pena in his castle. That's a tough first night. They'll push you hard, but life is short. Let's be honest. 30, 40 years ago, a lot of us are going to be dust. So why not make the most of this life? Why keep playing it easy and playing it safe, hanging out with your usual peer group, doing the same old thing you used to do? What do they say? The definition of insanity, Kate? doing the same thing, expecting a different results. I call it financial insanity, right? Doing the same thing financially and expecting a different financial result. Not going to happen. You're going to have to do something new. And I think it's really more about who you're hanging out with. This is Tigran, one of America's top 100 criminal defense attorneys, one of the founding members in our investment club. This is your new peer group. You can hang out with him. You saw him on that one football deal. He was actually didn't want to invest, Martini. He was like, I don't want this deal. Leave me alone. I don't care. He came on, he saw the CEO. He said, I love this deal. I just put money in now. Tigran is next level. Okay. When you hang out with him, you're not talking about the ball game on the weekend, right? He's talking about the next $1 billion idea. This is Andrew Haynes. He's our expert in Web3, gaming, metaverse. He'll jump on a call with you if you need it and walk you through any of the latest technology. Here he is graduating from one of the top executive training schools in Switzerland. This is your new peer group, right? Next level people. This is Dr. Encore. 4 years ago, he was in medicine. He took that Crypto and DeFi Academy, my 4-week course I told you about, graduated, took our Kings of DeFi, graduated, was the founding member in the investment club. We hired him a year ago to source deals. He's one of the best in the business. This is your new peer group. I got 146 more of these people, Kate and Chris. Trust me, cut out your friends and family, hang out with these people for 12 months, and watch your net worth explode. It will. It really will. And this is our family. These are some selfies I took behind the scenes. What do you see here? People that love being with each other, right? We're getting wealthy, changing the world, making lifelong friends. This is an event we had in London recently. We get a little crazy, don't we, Martini? Folks, I think your net worth is your network. How many people agree with that statement? Right? It's not what you know, it's who you know. You got to get in the right room. And yet, what room are you in? Probably the same room you've been in for 5 years, right? How are you going to break that cycle? It's actually really hard. If it wasn't for London Real, I wouldn't have changed my peer group. But with London Real, I can get anybody I can hang out with, right? Because you get to be on my show. This is the same thing for you. This is a way of you hacking into a network you would normally never get. Folks, I believe if you give a man a fish, you feed him for a day. If you teach him how to fish, you feed him for a lifetime. That's what we do. Every Monday, every Thursday, we teach people how to fish. My dream is that in 2 years from now, you don't need me anymore. You're going to be a money-making machine. I hope you hang out. You're welcome to, but you're going to be ready to go. And that's why we created the investment club. 4 years ago, did our first pre-sale investment, crossed the ages, hottest gaming company in blockchain. Actually got a message from Sammy from that yesterday. Their token was exploded 2x or something that day. And at the time, that deal scared the hell out of me. I'm not going to lie, Kate. It freaked me out. I'd never done a pre-sale token deal. This dude, Sammy, I didn't know him from Adam, came on a Zoom call, right? And after the call, he said, okay, you want in, Brian? You got 1 hour. You got to send $100,000 in stable coins to this wallet. True story. I was like, bro, what are you, crazy? I haven't done due diligence. My legal team hasn't looked at this. He's like, you got 59 minutes. You're going to miss this deal. And he was right. And I was like, wow, what a bunch of cowboys. This is crazy. Here I am, Mr. Hotshot Banker, Mr. MIT grad. And now this was really freaking me out. But I knew at the same time, it was an incredible way for people like you in my community to make unheard of wealth that they wouldn't get anywhere else. And so here I am, Kate, I'm at this dilemma. I'm thinking, if you guys try to do this on your own, you're going to lose every penny you ever had. Not just the amount you set to crypto. They'll bleed you dry, this industry. I've seen it happen. But if I could shepherd you along and we could do this together, we could change more lives through the wealth we create with you than maybe I could through 1 billion videos. And so I called Martini up and we agreed, we're going to do this. And that was 4 years ago. We've never looked back. Our most successful product to date by a factor of 10. Our most successful community to date by a factor of 10. And we're just getting warmed up. Here are the details, folks. It's an application-only program. We open up 10 spaces a quarter, and they're always gone. There's actually not many left this quarter, 1, maybe 2. And they're always gone. We're oversubscribed. Everybody knows about this. Everybody wants in. Tons of interest now from the Middle East and from the East Coast of the United States for some reason. The US is waking up now with all the deregulation. 6 modules, 3 months of coursework. It's a 12-month program, but guess what? It's now lifetime access. You stay in as long as you want, which is really incredible and unheard of. We do weekly live Zoom calls with top CEOs. We're doing 2, 3, 4 a week. You're going to learn fast, get tons of deal exposure. We've got a private Telegram group. You get access to all the deal flow. Oh, and if you don't know crypto, no problem. We're going to give you a full year of my Kings of DeFi program for free. We're going to get you up to speed in everything. Honestly, I've had people that join this club with no crypto experience. They do their first deal in 2 or 3 weeks. It's no problem. We've had plenty of success there. Next live call Thursday, 7 p.m. We teach this remote to people all over the world. And here's the syllabus. Module 1, I sent you. What is a crypto presale token? Module 2, what is a SAFT? Who knows what a SAFT is here? Not a single person on this call. Well, if you don't know what a SAFT is, then what the hell do you think you're going to be doing in this space trying to make money? I mean, like, you should honestly be embarrassed you don't know. A SAFT is one of the tools that the wealthy use to stay wealthy. It's how the rich get richer. And it's why the poor stay poor, because it's a lack of financial education that got you to where you are now, right? You believe that fiat currency is everything, the almighty dollar, right? The more dollars I get, the more I win. No, actually, the more dollars you get, the more you lose. A SAFT is a simple agreement for future tokens. It's the legal agreements we sign that are going to make us rich, period. Module 3, how to identify early winners. We're going to show you how to evaluate these companies and pick the ones that are going to make a lot of money. Module 4, how to generate new deal flow. I'm going to show you what conference to go to, what ticket to buy, what to wear, and how you can really get into these conferences, use your phone to scan QR codes and get deals to bring back to the group. Module 5, how do you nurture these deals into multi-billion-dollar protocols? And module 6, what do you do with all the cash? You're going to have so much cash, you're not going to even know what to do with it. So I recommend you spend some, you save some, and you put the rest back into these deals. Here's our Telegram group. Here's our Discord group, and here are the details, folks. As I said, we are oversubscribed. Martini's busy 24/7, fielding calls from people all over the world that want to join now. Our 10 spaces a quarter are always gone. They're oversubscribed. The investment in the mentorship and the education and the community and the deal flow, the rest of your life is $50,000, and that gets you the hottest deals in the world. Now, look, I understand it's a significant amount of money. I used to make $6 an hour, but it's also an investment that can get you unlimited financial returns. If that made you $50 million, that would be 1,000x investment that you got from that. And of course, it's your chance to take part in the greatest wealth creation event in human history. And those 2 deals I showed you earlier are ending right now. You're about to miss Crypto Nights and OneFootball, both amazing deals. And if you don't pull the trigger, you're going to miss those. And you're going to miss the whole year, and you're going to miss the whole crypto bull cycle. And 5-10 years from now, you can tell your friends, yeah, I remember I met Brian Rose once on a Zoom call. Yeah. No, I couldn't do it. I was too busy. But yeah, I know who he is. This is the special opportunity we had last quarter. This you missed as well. This is a SAFT agreement, by the way. Don't let it intimidate you. And that deal was up 466% in 1 day. 1 day. And the reason I show you that is because if you had put $10,000 in that deal, you would have paid for the club for the rest of your life. Imagine hanging out with Tigran and Marianne and Dr. Encore for the next 10 years and all the other members of the club. Imagine just being there. I bet you'd get wealthy just by osmosis, let alone even investing in deals. And yet you're going to research this and procrastinate this to death and come up with all the reasons not to. And instead, you're going to put your savings into your savings account and earn 0.1% interest and wonder 10, 20, 30 years from now why you can't retire. These are the choices, folks. Massive action or playing it safe. And you've seen our track record. Shrapnel, 20x in 20 days. Skillful AI, $4 million profit. Mochaverse up 20x. Story Protocol up 22x. Cats up 14x. And our $1 billion fund up 4x. Folks, we have the track record for success. How many more of these do you have to see, John, until you kind of decide that maybe this is the right way to go? I don't think you need to see more of these. I think you have to figure out your own brain and what's stopping you from success. That's the hardest thing. This is my pledge to my group. I'm going to create $10 billion for them in the next 10 years. And at this rate, it's going to happen in 5 years. And I can't wait to make my group filthy rich. We're going to rent out, what's the latest thing, Martini? We're going to rent out a cruise ship, I think, and cruise around the islands. I want everyone to fly in with their private jet till the airport gets crowded, right? These are high quality rich people problems, right? And that's the plan. Folks, we got amazing members. They all have real names and real stories. And if you go to londonreal.tv/club, there's a video from each one of these people you can watch at the bottom telling you how the investment club changed their life forever. And it was the best decision they ever made. Go watch the videos if you want. This is Carol. She says every member is both a learner and an investor. She's right. We stress education. This is Joe, says the window of opportunity is closing quickly. And you know he's right. You're about to miss this whole thing. This is Jerry. He's just honored to be part of the club, loves the vibe, loves the family. This is Dr. Yvette. She's a single mom with 4-year-old twins. I mean, what's your excuse? Are you too busy? Come on. She is busy and she's done like 13, 14 deals. So don't tell me you're busy because that's not it. This is Jens. How can you afford not to join us? You're going to look at this 6 months from now and you're going to kick yourself for missing this. This is Petya. She couldn't afford the club. And guess what she did? She joined anyways. She forced herself to find the money. And guess what she did? She went and got it. Then she paid for the club and then she invested in 64 deals, $5,000 minimum. You do the math. She went and manifested all of that money because she put herself in a situation where she had to find it. A bunch of our members did this. So when you tell me you can't do it, I just laugh because I know plenty of people that really couldn't do it. And they're now our most successful members, our most wealthy members as well. It's like Robert Kiyosaki tells me, the difference between a rich person and a poor person is their relationship with fear. What is your relationship with fear? That's the question. This is Chris. He said the deal flow is beyond what I expected. Joining was the best decision I ever made. We love Chris. And what we like about Chris is he invests alongside his son, which is 14 years old. His son actually puts $1,000 on every single deal. His dad covers the other 4,000, and they do it as a family. And of course, we really encourage families to stick together. We got mothers and daughters, fathers and sons, family affair. And this is what Chris said about the club.
What the London Real Investment Club actually does for you, it gives you the keys to open that door to the inside deals. In the last 3 weeks, I've participated in 3 incredible deals, a layer 2 Bitcoin protocol, an incredible AI protocol. The deal flow is beyond what I expected. I don't think I've ever seen a model like this that just gives average folks the opportunity to be behind the deals. And that's exactly what we've done. Not only that, you get to hang out with Brian Rose every week. And for me, that was huge because I look at Brian as somebody who's not only an expert in the space, and I think is on the leading edge, but just the leading edge of thought with London Real and the work he's doing there. To anyone who's taking a serious look at this, I know it's a big decision. It was a big decision for me and my family, and it is one of the best decisions I've ever made. So I wish you all the best and hope you come join us.
Oh yeah, we like Chris. We're feeling those vibes, right? He's a cool dude. We got really good people in that class. They're all like that. Thing is, we don't compete with each other, but they still expect you to show up and create wealth. That's what they do. They don't like your excuses, but we're not competing because we all win on these deals. Folks, it only takes one. One of these deals can change your life forever. If you don't have one, what the heck are you doing is what I would say. So get one of these on the books. Final thoughts. Don't let this year pass you by. You've missed more than half of it. You're about to miss the whole thing. You can learn early stage investing now. What you learn or what I teach you, you can use your whole life. Remember that liquid tokens on exchanges have limited gains. Somebody like me has already made 50x. You're just not going to make a 50x on a Bitcoin or an Ethereum this year. You're not. You have to go early stage. And of course, this is your chance to learn from active elite investors for only 50,000 bucks. Again, I know people like Dan Tapiero. If you said to him, I want your deal flow, I want you to teach me for the next 10 years, I mean, he would laugh at 50,000. You know, I don't think he gets out of bed for less than 500,000. He wouldn't even do it for that. It really is a great opportunity, what we're offering. And yes, it's a significant investment. Of course it is. And it's going to give you unlimited financial returns. And now, thanks to Martini, we got a payment plan. So $10,000 a month for 6 months, you're in. What does that mean? If you have limited capital, you could put $5K on crypto nights. You could put $5K on one football, and then the $10K monthly payment, boom, you're in. Those have tokens generating sometimes within 30 days. You're liquid and you're off to the races. That only happens now, folks. That wouldn't have happened 6 months ago or a year ago or 2 years ago. That only happens at the end of the bull market. Again, this is the best time to join this club. And it's about to be over. And of course, that gets you the best deal flow in the world. Folks, I like to think of Warren Buffett. He said the best investment you can make is in yourself. He's talking about getting in the right room. And yet most of you wouldn't even pay a penny to get around the right people, right? You pay for clubs and you'll pay for fashion and you'll pay for vacations. But to be surrounded by a high-level peer group, most of you just never pay for it, but you should. That's the single biggest factor in changing your success. I guarantee it is. Guarantee it. And I'm happy to have that debate with anybody who wants to have it, including you, Kate, about your five people you surround yourself with. I really think this is a factor. And again, I hang out with these people. In Dubai, I hang out with some extremely wealthy people. I don't even ask how wealthy they are, all right? And I'm telling you, it's not what they do, it's what they don't do. It's not what they say, it's what they don't say. You know, all those behaviors that you accept as normal and you laugh at with your friends that are going nowhere. The wealthy people don't do those things. They don't sabotage themselves, right? They don't talk down to themselves. They don't squash their dreams. And those might sound like little things, but words become flesh. I can't emphasize how important this is. Folks, the only way to join us is to book a call with Martini. She is very busy, and don't dare waste her time. A few people have done that before. We've never heard from them again. So make sure you honor her time and do your research. But she's spoken with thousands of people about this. And for some of those people, this made sense and we moved forward. And for some, it didn't. So she's willing to have an honest conversation with you. And if you're serious about this, then book a call with her. If you're serious about joining, then do that. And of course, we got our 4-week program. It's a much cheaper and quicker option. 4 weeks, 4 modules, and that's my Crypto and DeFi Academy. Again, 8 hours of live calls with me. It's an amazing class, graduated thousands of people. A bunch of those people have gone on to make millions of dollars. We have our online e-learning platform, triple-tiered accountability system, dedicated coaches and team leaders, private group for posting assignments. We got everything. And you're pre-approved at a super discounted rate at LondonReal.tv/buy. We start on Monday. Folks, what is your why? These guys, right? I'm telling you, Kate, are they, I mean, is it me or are they just incredibly handsome and adorable, right? I know I'm biased, but like, and this isn't even their best picture, right? Look, whenever I'm having a tough day, whenever I'm uncertain about taking risk, I just think about these boys and they're worth it. That's it. Whenever I'm in an uncomfortable situation or I'm tired, I just think about these boys and I'm like, I'm not gonna disappoint them. I'm not gonna let them down. And I'm gonna make sure they have every opportunity possible in what's becoming a more dangerous and scary place to live in this world. What are you doing to protect and provide for your people? And I'm telling you, your parents aren't getting any younger. And the people that are gonna look to you are gonna look more to you the older you get. And you're gonna find that, wow, I got a lot of people that depend on me. That's okay. Honestly, I think one of the greatest feelings is taking care of the people that depend on you. And I think it's one of the greatest flexes, you know, putting your kids and grandkids through college. I think it's more important than the Bugatti, but just something for all of you to think about. Folks, this is the video I promised. Go to LondonReal.tv/bonus. It'll show you how to find the hottest crypto pre-sale tokens. Of course, join us on one of our calls on Monday or Thursday for the Shark Tank for crypto. It's so much better. And you can just reach out to Martini. I know a bunch of you have already DM'd me here and you have a call booked with Martini. I think Kate is reached out to Martini. So make sure we find out with her. I know Chris is talking to you as well, which is great. And so hopefully John and Sherry are doing that as well. And come see us Monday or Thursday. It's a lot of fun. You'll really get a lot out of it. And that's it, folks. I'd love to answer your questions. Was that helpful? Thank you all for being here and having your cameras on. Nothing makes me happier. Thanks, Sherry. I appreciate the applause. Send me any DMs for questions. I'll answer them right now. I'm going to check my DMs right now. We actually got Martini here. I think we lost her a little earlier. I think she had a call with someone from the Middle East who wanted in. Martini, love to get your thoughts. You're talking to everybody on the ground.
Yes, absolutely. So good to see everybody here, and hopefully you were able to pick up some of the gems that Brian dropped today. And just understanding that these are amazing times that we are in right now, and now is a really good time to take advantage of the opportunities that are presented over to you, which can position you and your family for generations to come. So if this is your jam and you're looking into joining us inside of the Investment Club, I put some links inside of the chat below. The first link is for you to go ahead and check out the Investment Club page, and that's going to give you a rundown detail of what the Investment Club is all about, what we stand for, and where we see ourselves going together for the next 10 years. Also, and taking a look at when you're actually serious about joining us now and start investing alongside us now, I put a link for you to go ahead and schedule a call with me. But as Brian says, I only want to talk to people who are serious. If you don't see a time that's available on my calendar, please be sure to go ahead and send me a private message on Facebook Messenger. That's always the fastest way to get me. Or you can send me an email at martini@londonreal.tv and let me know who you are, where you're from, and the best time to get a hold of you within your time zone, and we'll definitely make it work. Last thing there, we want you guys to experience this in real time. So the very last link there is for you to go ahead and check out the one of our live calls that we are hosting every Monday and Thursday, where you'll see live CEOs pitching their company over to us. You'll see Brian doing the Shark Tank style questions, and you'll get to see how our members, over 150 people from all over the world, come together to invest in these early stage companies that are here to change the world. So good stuff there. We hope to see you on the inside soon, and back to you, Brian.
All right, great stuff. Thank you, Martini. Give it up for her and book that call and just have that conversation would be great. I'm telling you, folks, just keep an eye on crypto for the next few weeks and months. It's about to go absolutely nuts. This is what they call the face melting rally season, right? Is what the crypto kids say, where it's just like, you can't even believe it. I've had a few moments this last 3 weeks where I told Martini, she thinks that she laughs at me, but I wake up and I do this. I'm like, what? I literally do this. Or I'm in the coffee shop in the morning when I first check, because I don't check it when I wake up, and I'm like, what? You know, when Bitcoin goes to 123 or Bitcoin goes from 110 to 117, and I'm like, what? Or we look at one of our coins and it's up 4x on the day, and I'm just like, only in crypto does that happen. 15 years on Wall Street, I never did that, because crypto, when it goes, it goes. And this is the end of the 4-year cycle. So I just hope you all keep an eye on this. I hope you can get some type of skin in the game, because you clearly know this is important. You're at the right place at the right time with the right thesis. And I just want you to have something to show for it come New Year's Eve, when it's probably all over. So that's what I would say. Just take some action no matter what. And thank you all for being here. Really appreciate your energy. I know you have a bunch of calls booked with Martini. Come to one of our calls. I know Chris was on one last night, which was great to see you. They're a lot of fun to really get a vibe. And that's it, folks. Wishing you all the best. And hope you really just make some great wealth in this market and change your life. All right. Thanks, everybody. Bless. Have a good one. Bye. The mass scale transformation of humanity, the fully empowered, conscious, and cooperative species. It's something we live and breathe. We have a mission here. We want to help build the decentralized finance infrastructure of the future. What is your mission? Hey, it's Brian Rose from London Real. How would you like to join my investment club, where I teach you everything you need to know about early stage token and equity investments? Look, right now is one of the greatest times to invest in human history. We've got AI happening. We've got the metaverse that we built on AI, and all of this needs the blockchain, which is what we specialize in here. In my investment club, it's a 12-month program, 3 months of coursework where I teach you all the basics. I want to talk about how capital isn't enough, and I want to talk about how you can upgrade your arsenal of influence in a variety of ways. I teach you how to do basic due diligence. I teach you how to go to a conference and come back with 10 deals. Just go in, bam, 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 bam. This is super exciting, and we're able to do this here at London Real because I speak with some of the greatest guests on the planet. We have an amazing network, and we also have a structure to actually invest money in these deals. Just as a strategy in your business, just keep it simple, especially the first time you do it, but do it at the same time. I'm telling you, this is an incredible opportunity. I've got the best community in the business right now, 75 people from around the world in over 20 countries that are alongside, all investing together. And you can learn and network with the best in the business. No decision is much worse than a no. Something, action, action, action. The clock is ticking. If you're interested in this, click a link below and set up a call with one of my team. They'll walk you through what's happening, the opportunities, the requirements. But I plan on working with this group for the next 10 years, and we're going to do massive things here. And I hope you are a part of it. Click on the link and let's do this.